1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
So before I share my thoughts and opinions about what happened with Sonya Massey, let me first start off by saying the officer was wrong. Yes, the officer deserved to be fired. And yes, absolutely, the officer needs to be charged with first-degree murder. He needs to be held accountable and at the very least answer for this crime. There's a lot of things wrong with this video. And the reason why I came to the conclusion that yes, the officer was 100% wrong. My biggest problem with this video, or with this situation, this incident, is that even if she meant to do the officers harm, if she had intended to throw this pot of boiling water on one of these officers or both of these officers at the same time, these officers were already taking action to prevent that from happening. She asked them, "Where are you going?" She saw them backing up. And they told her, "Well, we're trying to stay we're trying to keep our distance from that hot boiling water. We don't want to get hit with that water." And then I don't know if she said it jokingly or she was serious, but then she goes to tell him that, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." He gets offended. And I'm not laughing at the situation, just the fact that I don't know why he got offended by what she said. Is this so much a racial issue as it might be a religious one? I don't know. But he immediately decides to pull out his gun. Now, I think the biggest problem here is you had other options, didn't you? You had a taser. Okay, well, then there's the water, electricity, whatever. But then if you had to, for whatever reason, discharge your weapon, why didn't you try to shoot her somewhere other than her face? And I get it, heat of the moment. I've had a lot of heat of the moment situations happen in my own life. I am very reactive to things. I do my best. I don't have it in my heart to hurt. So hurting someone is the last option on my list. Will I do it? Can I fight? Can I defend myself? Absolutely. But I don't like to. I'm looking for the way out. You had two officers there. She had a pot of boiling water. You had already distanced yourself. Why pull the weapon and then move forward? Keep your distance. Hold the weapon up if you have to. See what she's going to do after that. If it wasn't for the gun and the shooting, I don't think the officer would have been in the wrong had he used a different option. But he chose to use that one. It was fatal. She doesn't get this time back. Her children lost their mom. So because of that, and Officer Tatum, I don't know if you guys know who he is. No disrespect to this man. I enjoy watching his videos, but he said something to the effect that, she shouldn't have had the pot of boiling water. That despite how wrong the officers were, you can't do something like throw a pot of hot boiling water on someone, especially when they've got a gun pointed at you. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I don't think it's a defense for what the officers did. We shouldn't have to talk about this pot of boiling water when you look at the videos, the officer himself, I'm not saying both of them, that one officer could have made a much different decision, and he did what he did. He made a poor decision. Now, again, what the motivation was behind that other than what we saw, I think we need to wait on that information. Let's put that into context. Let's look at his history and see if he is the type that you would consider to be a racially motivated individual. And if he is, then he needs to answer for that as well. But just because he did one thing doesn't mean we should be trying to hold him guilty for another. That's the biggest problem that we have in our society right now. And with that said, I still believe in our officers. I just believe that we have bad apples and good apples that make bad decisions. We'll wait to see what the court decides based off of the information that they have. If that man needs to go to prison for life, then he needs to go to prison for life. That's the decision that the courts and a jury of his peers is going to have to make. But when we get into the political side of this, I just did something that the Democrats will never do. Despite who I support, it's not about right or left, it's about right or wrong. I support the blue, but this one was wrong. He needs to be held accountable. Democrats can't do that. If you notice everything they talk about and everything that they say, it's never their fault. You tell me, before you decide to vote here in November, you ask yourself, look at the most trusted person in your life, whether it's your mom, your husband, your wife, your kids, and you tell me that they have never lied about something. They have never made a mistake about something. Go ahead. So when somebody tries to convince you that they are 100% right about every last thing that they do, that's the first sign that you know that they're lying about something, if not everything. We keep allowing the extremists to dictate what goes on in the lives of moderate people who use common sense and logic to make the decisions that help them throughout their own lives. But we are allowing these extremists to control social media, to control the news, to control our government, to make you see something that's not there. Is Trump an a-hole? Quite possibly. But he's also a businessman. He's also has a team that is helping him to make the right decisions so that we can move forward and better this country. I could talk on and on about all of that, but the point here is to say, listen, when you're wrong, you're just wrong. If you want the people to believe that you have the best intentions of the people, then you have to hold yourself accountable when you do something wrong. And this officer was wrong. He needs to be held accountable. Democrats, when was the last time that you could come forward and say the exact same thing about your own? If you guys are enjoying the content, man, please do me a huge favor. Hit the like, subscribe, and follow button so that I can create more videos just like this. We can have these conversations. And even if you don't agree with half the things that I say, just know that this is a channel where you can engage. You can respectfully disagree. We can have those discussions and we can move on, move forward as a community. That's what I want. I hope that's what you want as well. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.